Have you ever wondered why certain people capture attention without saying a word? They don't need to dominate the conversation, brag about their accomplishments, or make grand gestures. Yet somehow, they exude an undeniable presence that draws others in. It's not about being the loudest or most charismatic person in the room. It's something deeper, a silent attraction that commands respect, admiration, and even curiosity. But what exactly makes these individuals so compelling? In a world filled with noise, constant chatter, and the pressure to always be on, the idea of silent attraction stands out. It's a quality that goes beyond looks or charm. It taps into habits and behaviors that reflect a deep sense of confidence, calm, and authenticity. These people move through life with ease, their actions speaking volumes without the need for excessive words or attention-seeking behavior. And the best part? You can cultivate these habits too. In this video, we're going to dive into 12 socially attractive habits that make people gravitate towards you without you even having to say a word. These habits aren't about being loud or flashy. They're rooted in timeless Stoic principles that help you develop a quiet yet undeniable allure. If you've ever felt like you're overlooked or that your presence doesn't have the impact you want, this video is for you. We'll cover everything from self-assurance and emotional control to consistency in actions and resilience in adversity. These aren't quick-fix tactics, but long-term habits that will transform the way others see you, and more importantly, how you see yourself. By mastering these habits, you'll notice a shift in how people respond to you. They'll start to listen more closely when you speak, respect your boundaries, and seek your presence, not because you demand it, but because you naturally draw them in. This isn't about manipulation or playing games. It's about becoming the kind of person who others want to be around, simply because of the energy and presence you bring to the table. Whether you're navigating social situations, relationships, or professional environments, these habits will not only make you more attractive, but will also empower you to live a more grounded, fulfilling life. So, if you're ready to learn how to cultivate a silent yet powerful presence that leaves a lasting impact, stay with us. By the end of this video, you'll have a deeper understanding of how to be silently attractive and how these 12 Stoic habits can change your social dynamics for the better. Let's get started. Calm composure in chaos. We've all been there. Life throws something unexpected at you, and your first instinct is to panic or react impulsively. Maybe it's getting stuck in a traffic jam on your way to an important meeting, or perhaps a last-minute change in plans turns your day upside down. Most people react to these moments with frustration, anger, or anxiety. And why wouldn't they? It feels natural to get swept up in the chaos. But now think about that one person in your life who seems unshakable in these situations. Maybe it's a coworker who stays calm even when a big project hits a snag. Or a family member who, no matter how tense the argument gets, manages to keep their cool. They radiate a sense of peace and control that makes you feel better just being around them. That's the power of calm composure. When you can maintain your peace in the middle of chaos, it's not only attractive, it's rare. Most people are looking for that reassurance in their lives, even if they don't realize it. They want to be around someone who can remain level-headed when the world seems to be falling apart. It's a kind of silent leadership. People gravitate toward you because your calmness gives them a sense of security. In moments of stress, taking a deep breath and pausing before reacting shows incredible inner strength. It's like you're telling the world, "I can handle this," without needing to say a word. Over time, this calm composure becomes part of who you are. You become known as the person people turn to when things get tough. You don't have to shout about it. Your actions, or sometimes your lack of reaction, speak for you. Practicing calm composure is a lifelong journey. You can start by recognizing those little triggers that make you anxious or stressed and learning to let go of them. The next time you find yourself in a chaotic situation, instead of jumping to react, take a step back. Ask yourself, is this worth losing my peace over? When you train yourself to respond this way, not only do you build inner resilience, but you also become someone who others admire for their quiet strength. People will start to notice that you don't crumble under pressure, and that's an incredibly attractive quality. In relationships, friendships, and professional settings, This calm composure becomes your silent superpower. You don't need to make grand gestures to impress anyone. Simply being the steady rock when everything else is in flux speaks volumes about your character. That's the essence of calm composure, and why it's one of the most socially attractive habits you can cultivate. Thoughtful silencing. We live in a world where it feels like everyone has something to say all the time. From social media to the workplace, the pressure to constantly contribute, comment, and give opinions is overwhelming. But think about the people you respect most in your life. Chances are, they're not the ones who always have to say the most. In fact, they might be the people who know how to hold back and only speak when they truly have something valuable to add. This is what we call thoughtful silence. It's the art of being comfortable with silence and not feeling the need to fill every pause in conversation. In today's world, where everyone's racing to be heard, the person who can sit back and listen stands out. Imagine you're in a group conversation, and everyone's trying to talk over one another. There's always that one person who's sitting back, absorbing everything, only chiming in when they've taken the time to reflect. When they do speak, it's not rushed or reactive. It's thoughtful, and it lands with more weight. That's because people naturally value someone who takes time to listen, consider, and then contribute. In personal relationships, this trait can be incredibly attractive. Being the person who listens deeply when someone is speaking, without interrupting or jumping in with your own story, creates a connection that most people aren't used to. They feel heard, understood, and respected. And when you do speak, your words carry more impact because they're not just filler, they're meaningful. Practicing thoughtful silence can also help you avoid unnecessary arguments or misunderstandings. How many times have you said something in the heat of the moment, only to regret it later? When you give yourself the space to think before you speak, you're less likely to say something you don't mean or that you can't take back. But thoughtful silence isn't just about not talking. It's about being present. It's about focusing fully on the person in front of you, giving them your undivided attention. In a world full of distractions, that kind of presence is rare and very attractive. The next time you're in a conversation, try practicing thoughtful silence. Instead of rushing to respond, take a moment to pause. Really listen. You'll be surprised at how much more meaningful your conversations become and how much more people are drawn to your quiet presence. Mindful eye contact. Eye contact is one of the most powerful forms of nonverbal communication. It's something we do almost automatically, but when done intentionally, it can create a deep connection with others. Have you ever noticed how some people can hold eye contact in a way that feels engaging and present, while others avoid it or use it in a way that feels uncomfortable? Mindful eye contact is all about being present with the person in front of you. It's not just about looking someone in the eyes. It's about showing that you're fully engaged with them in that moment. This can be incredibly attractive because, in a world full of distractions, people crave that kind of focused attention. Think about a time when you were speaking to someone who was constantly looking at their phone or glancing around the room. It probably made you feel like they weren't really listening or that you weren't important. Now think about a time when someone gave you their undivided attention, looking you in the eye while you spoke. It likely made you feel valued and understood. That's the power of mindful eye contact. It makes people feel seen. And when people feel seen, they're naturally drawn to you. But there's a balance to this. Too much intense eye contact can feel invasive, while too little can make you seem uninterested. The key is to be natural and genuine. When someone is speaking to you, maintain steady eye contact, but don't stare. Nod occasionally to show you're listening, and smile when appropriate. This signals that you're engaged and receptive. In personal interactions, especially romantic ones, mindful eye contact can be incredibly intimate. It creates a quiet connection without the need for words. Whether you're on a date, having a deep conversation with a friend, or even in a professional setting, the way you use eye contact can change the entire tone of the interaction. If you're someone who struggles with eye contact, practice in small doses. Start by holding eye contact for a few seconds longer than you normally would, and gradually build up your comfort level. Over time, you'll notice that people respond to you differently. They'll feel more connected to you, and you'll exude a quiet confidence that's hard to ignore. Controlled body language. Body language is one of the most subtle but powerful ways we communicate with others. Even before you open your mouth, people are already reading cues from how you stand, sit, and move. We've all been in situations where we can sense someone's mood just by their posture, whether they're closed off, nervous, or confident. What if you could use your body language to project a sense of calm, confidence, and openness without saying a word? Controlled body language is all about being aware of how you carry yourself and using it to send the right signals. When you stand tall with your shoulders back and your body relaxed, you immediately appear more confident and approachable. It's a way of saying, "I'm comfortable in my own skin," and that silent message is incredibly attractive. One of the biggest mistakes people make is crossing their arms or hunching over when they're nervous or uncomfortable. This can make you seem closed off, even if that's not how you feel inside. By consciously keeping your body language open, uncrossed arms, relaxed posture, you invite people in rather than pushing them away. In social situations, pay attention to how you position your body. Are you facing the person you're talking to, or are you angled away as if you're ready to leave? Small adjustments, like leaning slightly forward to show interest or mirroring the other person's body language, can make a big difference in how connected people feel to you. Controlled body language isn't about being stiff or robotic. It's about being intentional with your movements. When you walk into a room, do so with purpose. Take slow, measured steps instead of rushing in. When you sit down, do so with a sense of ease. All of these small actions send a message that you're calm, in control, and confident, and people will naturally be drawn to that. Over time, practicing controlled body language becomes second nature. You'll find that people respond more positively to you, not just because of what you say, but because of the energy you project through your body. In a world where so many people are caught up in their own anxiety or insecurities, your calm, controlled presence will stand out, and that's an incredibly attractive quality. Poised responses under pressure. One of the most universally admired qualities is the ability to stay calm and composed under pressure. We've all experienced stressful situations, whether it's a disagreement at work, a personal conflict, or even just a chaotic moment in everyday life. Most people tend to react impulsively when stress kicks in, often letting their emotions dictate their response. But those who can remain poised and thoughtful under pressure are seen as dependable, trustworthy, and above all, attractive. Imagine you're in a heated argument. Most people's instinct is to raise their voice, interrupt, or react defensively. But if you can maintain a calm demeanor, take a breath, and respond with measured words, it not only diffuses the tension, but also demonstrates emotional intelligence. People will notice your ability to stay composed and think clearly even when emotions are running high. This isn't about suppressing your feelings or being passive. It's about managing your emotional responses in a way that's both effective and graceful. Poised responses under pressure signal to others that you are in control of yourself, even when external circumstances feel chaotic. Think of a leader you admire, whether in your personal life or on a larger scale. Chances are they have a remarkable ability to stay level-headed in the face of adversity. This quality is not just for leaders, though. It's something that makes anyone more attractive because it shows that you don't let situations or people control you. Take a scenario where you're at work, and a colleague is throwing accusations or unfair criticism your way. Instead of snapping back or losing your cool, imagine calmly listening to them, then responding with something like, "I hear your concerns, and I'd like to address them one by one." Not only does this approach defuse a potentially volatile situation, but it also shifts the power dynamic in your favor. You've demonstrated that you're not reactive, but responsive, which gives you an air of silent strength and confidence. Practicing poised responses under pressure doesn't happen overnight, but like any skill, it improves with awareness and repetition. The next time you're in a stressful situation, remind yourself to pause before reacting. Take a deep breath, consider the best course of action, and respond in a way that reflects your core values rather than your immediate emotional state. Over time, people will see you as someone they can rely on when things get tough, and that's an incredibly attractive trait. Subtle humor. Humor is one of the most attractive traits anyone can have, but there's something special about subtle humor. It's not about cracking jokes constantly or trying to be the life of the party. Instead, it's about injecting a lightheartedness into conversations in a way that feels natural and effortless. Subtle humor shows that you're comfortable with yourself, and it can create an instant connection with others. We've all been around people who try too hard to be funny, and it often has the opposite effect. They can come across as awkward or desperate for attention. On the other hand, someone who uses humor sparingly and skillfully creates a quiet magnetism. Their wit sneaks up on you, catching you off guard in the best possible way, making you feel like you're in on a private joke. That's the magic of subtle humor. Subtle humor can be as simple as making a clever observation in a conversation or using a playful tone when responding to someone. It's not about being sarcastic or poking fun at others, but rather finding the lightness in situations, especially when things get tense. For example, imagine you're in a meeting that's dragging on forever. Instead of complaining or zoning out, you could make a quick, light comment like, "I didn't realize we were training for a marathon. This meeting has real stamina." It breaks the tension, brings a smile, and shows that you don't take everything too seriously. In personal relationships, subtle humor can make people feel comfortable around you. It shows that you're relaxed and confident enough to have fun without needing to dominate the conversation. It's about being playful and easygoing in a way that draws people in. The key is to stay authentic. Your humor should feel natural and not forced. The more you can weave in lighthearted moments without trying too hard, the more people will be drawn to your calm, charismatic presence. Subtle humor also shows that you don't take yourself too seriously, which is a deeply attractive trait. People are naturally drawn to those who can laugh at life's little absurdities without letting them get bogged down by negativity. Start practicing by finding small opportunities to inject light humor into your daily interactions. Over time, you'll notice how it changes the energy in your conversations and makes you even more approachable and attractive. Patience and restraint. In a world that often values instant gratification, patience has become a rare and highly attractive quality. Whether it's waiting in line, dealing with slow progress at work, or navigating difficult relationships, the ability to exercise patience and restraint makes you stand out. When you're not in a rush to react or make quick decisions, you exude a calm, composed energy that others find magnetic. We live in a fast-paced world where everyone is rushing to get results, achieve success, or make their point heard. But those who take a step back and allow things to unfold at their own pace show a deep sense of self-confidence and wisdom. It's the kind of quiet power that draws people in because it signals that you're in control of yourself and your emotions, not easily rattled by external pressures. Think of a time when you were stuck in traffic or dealing with a slow-moving project. Your first instinct might have been to get frustrated or impatient, but how did that help the situation? Probably not at all. Now imagine the opposite. You stay calm, accept that the situation is out of your control, and use that time to reflect, plan, or even just relax. Not only does this make you feel better, but it also makes you more pleasant to be around. People are naturally attracted to those who don't let impatience dictate their actions. In relationships, patience and restraint are even more crucial. We've all experienced moments where we want to react quickly. Maybe someone said something hurtful, or a conversation isn't going the way we hoped. But by exercising patience, you show that you're not ruled by impulsive emotions. You're giving the situation the time and space it needs to resolve itself, which often leads to better outcomes. Patience also signals emotional strength. It tells others that you don't need to force things to happen because you trust the process. You're comfortable waiting for the right moment rather than rushing into decisions or actions. This kind of restraint is incredibly attractive because it shows that you're not easily swayed by the chaos of life. Instead, you're grounded and steady, and that's a rare quality that people naturally gravitate toward. Over time, Practicing patience becomes a habit. The more you can cultivate this quiet strength, the more people will admire your ability to stay calm in the face of challenges. And in a world that often feels rushed and chaotic, that kind of composed energy is undeniably attractive. Consistency in actions and words. Consistency is one of the most underrated yet powerful traits when it comes to being silently attractive. People are drawn to individuals who are dependable, whose actions align with their words, and who are steady in their beliefs and values. This consistency creates a sense of trust, and trust is an incredibly attractive quality because it signals reliability and emotional security. We've all encountered someone who makes grand promises but rarely follows through. It's frustrating and often leads to disappointment. On the other hand, think of someone in your life who always keeps their word, no matter how big or small the commitment. That person is probably someone you respect and admire. Consistency is the foundation of that respect. Being consistent doesn't mean you have to be rigid or predictable in every aspect of life. It's about maintaining a steady presence, acting with integrity, and doing what you say you will do. This applies to everything from how you treat others, to how you handle your responsibilities, to how you communicate. When people know what to expect from you, they feel more comfortable and safe in your presence, which automatically makes you more attractive. In relationships, consistency is key to building long-lasting bonds. Whether it's in a romantic relationship, friendship, or even professional environment, when your actions and words align, people feel like they can rely on you. They know you won't say one thing and do another. This reliability creates a quiet but strong form of attraction because people want to be around those who provide emotional and psychological stability. In practice, consistency requires mindfulness and discipline. It means showing up, following through, and being true to your word, even when it's inconvenient or difficult. It's not about being perfect, but about striving to be reliable in the things that matter. Over time, this builds your reputation as someone who can be counted on, which is one of the most attractive qualities anyone can possess. People are drawn to individuals who make them feel secure, and consistency offers that in a profound way. In a world where unpredictability often leads to stress and confusion, being a consistent, stable presence in someone's life makes you a magnetic force they naturally want to be around. Non-reactive to negativity. Remaining non-reactive in the face of negativity is a sign of true inner strength, and it's a highly attractive quality. We live in a world where people are quick to lash out, react defensively, or let their emotions get the best of them. But those who can remain calm and composed, especially when provoked, exude a quiet confidence that draws others in. Imagine you're in a situation where someone is criticizing you, perhaps unfairly. Most people's instinct is to react, whether it's to defend themselves, argue back, or let their emotions show. But if you can maintain your calm and not let the negativity get under your skin, you demonstrate a level of self-mastery that's rare and powerful. It signals that you're in control of your emotions and that you don't allow external forces to dictate your internal state. When you're non-reactive to negativity, you give off an aura of quiet strength. People can sense that you're not easily swayed by the opinions or actions of others, and this independence is incredibly attractive. It shows that you're confident in who you are, that you don't need validation from others, and that you're able to rise above petty conflicts or criticisms. In practice, being non-reactive doesn't mean ignoring negative situations or pretending they don't affect you. It's about choosing how you respond. Instead of letting someone's hurtful words or actions trigger an emotional reaction, you take a step back, assess the situation, and decide how or if you want to respond. Sometimes, the most powerful response is no response at all. This ability to stay centered in the face of negativity also creates a sense of mystery around you. People will wonder how you manage to stay so composed, even in difficult situations. This composure makes you appear emotionally intelligent and in control of your life, which is an attractive trait that sets you apart from those who are easily thrown off balance. Over time, Practicing non-reactivity will not only make you more attractive, but will also give you greater peace of mind. You'll find that you're less affected by the ups and downs of life, and people will be drawn to your calm, collected energy. It's a quiet but powerful way to stand out and attract the right kind of attention. Self-assurance without needing validation. There's something irresistibly attractive about someone who is self-assured and confident, yet doesn't constantly seek validation from others. In a world where social media encourages us to constantly look for likes, comments, and approval, someone who is comfortable in their own skin and doesn't need external validation stands out as rare and magnetic. Self-assurance comes from within. It's about knowing your worth and not needing others to constantly affirm it. When you carry this kind of quiet confidence, people can sense it. You don't have to boast about your accomplishments or fish for compliments. Your presence alone communicates that you are secure in who you are and that you don't rely on others to make you feel good about yourself. Think about the people you find most attractive. Chances are, they are individuals who don't need to seek attention or approval. They go about their lives with a quiet confidence, and that's what draws you to them. They don't need to prove anything, and their self-assurance is something that people can't help but notice. On the other hand, someone who constantly seeks validation can come across as insecure or needy, which is unattractive. People are naturally drawn to those who are independent and confident because it signals emotional strength. It's not about being arrogant or aloof. It's about having an inner sense of self-worth that doesn't waver based on external opinions. In relationships, self-assured individuals are incredibly attractive because they bring stability to the table. They don't need constant reassurance or praise to feel valued, which takes the pressure off their partner or friends. Instead, they are secure enough to give love and support without needing it in return for their self-esteem. This creates healthier, more balanced relationships where both parties feel free to be themselves. Cultivating self-assurance takes time and self-reflection. It involves understanding your own value and learning to validate yourself rather than relying on others. The more you practice this, the more people will be drawn to your quiet confidence. You'll stand out as someone who is grounded, secure, and attractive in a way that doesn't need to shout for attention. It simply is. These traits, when consistently practiced, can significantly enhance your silent attractiveness by fostering deeper connections and presenting a composed, confident demeanor. This kind of attraction is long-lasting and impactful, resonating on a deeper level with the people around you.